How we doing, traders? Welcome back. You guys know it's a big day today, FOMC day, of course, and we'll be looking to see what happens with the rate cuts. Will there be a rate cut? We'll talk a little bit about that and, of course, the pressure that Trump's putting on the FOMC. I'm sure we're going to get questions today. The fireworks today really will kick off at 2:30, and the market dropping a little bit here. And guess what? I'm positioned and ready for an ugly open here. Let's take a look at what's going on in the market right now. It involves the playbook, so let's get right to the action. You guys know where you're at. It's, of course, TTP Live, guys. Let's take a look at today's playbook. All right, first up, guys, I want to tell you guys a little bit about a trade I'm in right now as we speak, guys. I'm looking to see what happens here with the SQQQ, guys. I went big this morning, guys. Went 2,000 shares deep in the SQQQ on the main account and looking to see what I can do. Already getting a nice little profit take at there. I got a profit take at 29.09 of a nice little 195. I still got 135 available to me right here. So I think that I'm looking to see if the Qs could really break down at the gates here. And that's why SQQQ is my top play on the playbook today. I'll be looking for this to continue riding high and going through the 29.10s and not pulling back here towards, let's say, 28.80s out the gates. Of course, out the gates, I'll set a stop right now in the pre-market. Cannot really holding towards the 29. Wouldn't want to see the 29 break. I can take profit at 28.99 here. So that's pretty much my out. I'm way down at 28.89, but looking to make some cash and not looking too bad this morning. I'm looking to see some downside action come in as the euphoria has run us back up the last couple of days, 3 days up. Now, why not take a little bit of a step back down, right? And I think that that's what we get today. I'm not saying that we're going to go and cut 5/10s today, but could we be back into yesterday's range? Yes, I do think, and we're already hitting into yesterday's range, starting to. Now I'll look for the continuation in the Qs on the 15 minutes to start breaking the low, 521.65. Let's see if we get that break and it continues on the downside. Of course, you guys, I even put this out on my Twitter because I felt like this was one of those moves where not a lot of traders are looking at it, and the move is happening right now, guys. So smash a like if you guys are just joining in. It looks like a lot of you guys joining in on X. I'm sure you guys are seeing what I'm seeing right now. Like, whoa, what's going on in the market right now? We'll see if we get some further downside. IonQ is another one that I'm going to be looking for some downside action today, guys, as I look to see that the quantum names start to let go. Why? Because the focus is now going back to AI, not necessarily quantum. And just like that, themes come in and out of focus. And when they come out of focus, the euphoria can come down and the prices can also come down. Why? Because when the euphoria comes down, a lot of the times, what's going to come back into play? Well, what comes back into play is the fundamentals, the approach of the value of the company, right? Like always, when story is running a stock, even technicals don't matter. But there's always a time when the uncertainty comes back into play, the story takes a step back, fundamentals take a step forward, and then everyone starts taking a look at the technicals and seeing what? Extended stock, right? So we'll see what happens with these stocks if they crumble today. I'm even thinking about shorting IonQ right now. I mean, I think this could be an ugly open here. So I might have to jump onto it, guys. This is looking really good for us on the SQQQs as that continues to go. I'll be looking to see another name right here, ARKK, start to dip down. And it already is starting to dip. This looks pretty good here from that cut of 62 down to the 6150s. And why? Because I think that you're going to start to see XLP and the value names start to get the lift. So if there's any area that we could look at, we can look at value names to see how they perform today. Procter Gamble, one to take a look at. Coca-Cola, right? Pepsi, those types of names. Colgate, Palmolive. We'll see what happens with the space if we can get some of those dividend players to make the move. T-Mobile reported today. We'll talk a little bit about that and why I think that could also be a continued move higher. And AT&T, another one that's continuing the strength. Why? Those are dividend players, guys. People are looking for a little safety right now. I feel like they're not just loading the boat. We got to be careful for a little bit of pullback action. But right now, we'll see what happens, guys. Qs are trying to dip down. We'll see if they're able to break the lows. They just undercut it, right? I talked about the 521.65s. It just undercut it towards the low and now starting to bounce. So I might just take my cash here in the SQQQ and look to reload out the gates. All right, just want to make sure that I pay myself there if it comes back into the 2899, and I think it could pull back to the right where I'm at, right where my break-even entry is out the gates here. So what I wanted to see is it be above the 2910s on the SQQQ so that I could see it start to push here and looking for that continued breakout at the gates. Now we're getting the pullback, a test of support. That's okay, as long as it doesn't break this support, right? So pretty much the 2899 is where I'd get out and take the money. Let's see if it bounces here right back towards the 2910s. And as you guys can see, 2909. So not a bad profit take as it was going for that breakout. Instead of being a little greedy, was at least able to pay myself and give a little cushion. All right, we'll see what happens with this. And of course, I'll be going over to my limited account that's just a little bit away from getting towards the funded. I'm at 1,070.30. So I need to keep pushing, guys. This one, it needs like about $230 to get up there. So, hey, we'll keep pushing. We'll see what happens today, see what I can find in the penny stock game. I did take one trade in the penny stock game. That was SX TP. I was watching for this one to kind of break up there towards the 150. It was looking good. Didn't want to go, and I cut it on the break even. Not a bad take there. Not a bad trade. Overall, just lost $7, but that was more in the fees, and I'll take that. It is what it is. Looking to keep going and try to make some money today. Will we get some downside action? There's only one way to find out, team. Stick around. Good morning to you guys out there. Let's keep looking into the market and seeing what we can come up with today, as we are getting a little bit of a pullback here, and the market looks a little heavy here before the open. We'll see if we start to actually get some downside action to come in here, and what different names could we go looking, right? Well, let's get to the sunrise report in just a second here and talk about what stocks are moving and why they are moving, of course. As like always, we give our sunrise report. It's out on our Discord every single morning. If you're not catching it, definitely go ahead and take a look. Good morning to you, Angie. How you doing out there? Let's go make some money today. Looking for the Qs to come on down. Come on down, Susie Q. What you going to do for me here? We'll see what happens if it's able to hold on to this resistance. There's a reason why I drew this line. I'm seeing it as a resistance right now that it could hold. We'll look to see if it comes right back down. It's right back towards 2901. So I'm ready to get out if needed, right? I think that's very important right now. We'll see what happens on that name right there. Just going to keep the SQQQ ready to go if I need to get out, because to tell you the truth, don't want to get caught there. And just want to make sure that I take the profits, right? At least are taking some profits on a day like today. All right, let's go back to the main account to make sure I'm ready to go to take the cash if I need to, as it is coming back there into my zone. We'll see if it rejects this area and comes right back down. There's there's my profit take signal on the bid. Now I got to give it about a penny here to see what happens, to see if we go right back to a red candle. If not, I'll take the money and run here. All right, let's see what else is out there, guys. Let's keep pushing into the market today. We'll get to the sunrise report and take a look at what's going on out there. DJT up big on the day. We'll talk a little bit about that. Baba, what is going on in Alibaba? Is it deep seeking it? We'll see what happens out there with that, guys. It looks like there's a new AI. Yes, new AI, guys. All right, let's get to today's sunrise report. The Qs just rejected that area. Exactly what I wanted to see. Now I'll look for a takedown below the low here, 521.56, to put the pressure on the bulls. What will they do at the open? Only one way to find out. Stick around, team. All right, let's get to today's sunrise report and see what's moving and why. First up, guys, the rate cut expectation today, right? I took a kind of a little bit of a risk in the question in the title, and I thought that, who knows, maybe we do have a surprise chance today. Even though if you take the CME Fed tool, it's saying that it's nearly 100% chance that the Fed holds rates at 4.25 and 4.5. Of course, this is from the CME Fed Watch tool. You guys can just search for it and get some more answers. We'll see what happens there. I think it's very important to kind of catch the conversation, which is going to be more important because we all know what Trump said about the Fed that he was going to push them to cut rates and cut rates fast, and that the other world banks would follow us. Well, now let's see what happens when Jerome actually gets that question. Will he say that the Trump has no weighing in on his outlook in the interest rates, or will he say that we will take it into consideration, right? Something like that is going to be said. We need to watch to see what particular language is used. All right, let's go ahead. Let's keep things going. We're looking good this morning, guys. Starting things off with a bang, guys. Not looking too bad as the Qs start to crumble here. Let's see what happens. I mean, this isn't a big move right now, but it could be a start of an ugly morning. All right, let's keep it going here. Let's go over to ASML. As we take a look at ASML, of course, that's going to be my focus, as this is one of the earnings stocks that it did come out. Nice little pop, but it's just fading into what? A fading market, right? So this one could be coming down, even though with good earnings. Let's talk about it. ASML earnings here. Strong bookings and AI fears dismissed as net sales came in at $9.26 billion, beating the $9.07 billion estimate. Net profit here at $2.69 billion versus a $2.68 billion estimate. Bookings soared 169 quarter over quarter to 7.9 billion, and we're talking in euros just to kind of keep it in perspective there, crushing the 3.99 billion estimate. So the bookings are where the real surprise was for ASML. This tells us what? That maybe the AI concerns on DeepSeek, low-cost AI models sparked the worries, but the demand is still underneath the hood, right? So the CEO still remains bullish on demand for these chips, as he says maybe a cheaper model for DeepSeek can actually cause more investment. Nice perspective there. Nice flip from the CEO. I definitely think that was a good reaction. It was up 11% in the pre-market. Not as up as it was. It settled 9% in London. Let's move over to Frontier. Yes, Frontier, ULCC, guys. This company, man, I don't know what they're doing, but they're trying their best to kind of get a merger and get out of the situation they're in. They're not doing well. People don't like them. At least that's what I feel like. And Frontier revives its bid for bankrupt Spirit Airlines after JetBlue's failed takeover. We'll see what happens there, as the executives warn Spirit's solo plan leaves it highly leveraged and unprofitable. Well, the turnaround is happening. And where's your coffee out there, guys? As Starbucks takes a lift off, and it's pushing this morning. Not looking too bad. Earnings came in last night as same stores fail. Same-store sales fell 4%. They fell 4%, better than the 5.5 estimate. So, I mean, it was a negative, right? So, hey, it is what it is. It's not looking too good here, but they're starting to turn things around. The EPS at 69 cents, beating the 67-cent estimate. Really, we need to take a look to see what happens. The changes underway. Fewer discounts, minus 40% in deals. Streamline the menu, minus 30% by 2025. And store renovations and new tech for faster service. CEO sees long-term U.S. stores doubling potential. He definitely gave a bullish comment there. One thing that I would say about Starbucks is I think that they need to either adjust their stores so that maybe remote workers want to come in more often instead of pushing those people out, because that's the latest thing, is they've been trying to push people out that hang out there unless you continue buying their coffee, which I don't think is a wrong thing, but just how about you maybe have some really high speed internet at these offices and call it like little small cubicles, and make little cubicles for people that are remote and want to hang out someplace, essentially like a little WeWork. But that way, at least you could charge for some internet, get some money if you're not getting money for coffee, and at least continue things going. Hey, you guys let me know what you guys think of this idea. We can talk a little bit more about it, but definitely Starbucks trying to change things and keep things on the upside. We'll see what happens there in Starbucks. All right, time to catch up some chat comments. What's going on? Good morning, guys. How we doing, Mike? How we doing, Shane, this morning? Let's go ahead. Let's take a look at what you guys are talking about. The SQQQ doesn't want to break the 2910 here. It's starting to give me a little concern that we're not breaking it. Looking for the continuation here. but we might have to wait for the bell, right? That was a really good look when it came back here to the 29.10s. Now I won't let it break the 29.03. Even going back to 29 is not a good sign. It just means a pullback. Doesn't mean that it's not going to keep going, but I'm looking for a momentum move here. Let's see if it can continue holding the momentum. Let's go to Qs here, as you'll see them start to pop with this move. And it's just the opposite, right? When I trade the SQQQ, I'm looking for the breakdown of that level. Where did we go to? We went right to 521.61, but didn't break the 56. So at this point, just looking for a rejection here to get right back below the 9 EMA, not to start actually getting above the 522s. It can tap it, but should start going back into a red candle. This candle closes green towards 522.16, and we'll see our way out, right? Take some money and keep battling. All right, guys, it's good to see you guys this morning. Catching up with the chat comments here. We got a couple of them here. Mike was the first one in here, so let's go ahead. Let's get to Mike and see what he has to say here. All right, morning, Mitch. I'm at 1,089.20 in the 20K limited. Oh, we're really close, my friend. I'm at I'll tell you right now, and in just a second, I'll get it to there. But I'm at like 1,069. So we're really close. Telling myself discipline and patience is key for me right now. I'm right there with you, holding hands as we cross the finish line. Let's do it, Mike. I think one of the important things right now is taking the focus, understanding what you're trying to do, right? And just like yesterday, I ended up making another trade that just made me $50. I know I lost 150 yesterday, but it gave me that opportunity to get some of it back, right? So I only lost like 72 when I was all done, all said and done. Took some money, got some money back, didn't get it all back in one trade. Leaving myself in one good trade to get the account. Mike, I agree with you. Stay focused, stay disciplined. Understand that at the end of the day, just keep going on your risk to return. And if anything, hey, just keep trading, man. Have faith in yourself. Take a deep breath. Understand that at the end of the day, you're just doing your trading game. And if it doesn't work out this one, it'll work out on the next one, as long as we can keep making improvements and focus on what? Our game. So get into the zone and let's get it today, Mike. Let's get it. All right, let's go ahead. We'll talk a little bit more about that as we keep going. Let's go to Shane here. Morning, Mitch. Got funded, blew up the funded account, took some time away, back on the horse now, passed the E-valve again on the super buying power. So ready to make some money. Love to hear that, Shane. I think one of the things that especially happens as we move from the eval to the funded account, we need to hone in ourselves. We might have been a little bit more riskier in an eval situation because essentially what? Paper, right? So I think once you go to the funded account, maybe start to really hone in yourself. Really getting into what your best plays are going to be the move, right? We can't just get everything underneath the sun. And like always, sometimes you might have to slightly adjust as you go to the funded. So what I think is, instead of pushing the gas pedal so much early, hit the brake pedal, start trying to win in the funded account, and then start taking some shots. That's just the way that I see it. We'll see what happens here, guys. Might take the profits here in the SQQs as we're starting to get that pullback. We've had a couple of attempts to break down, and I always think about it like this: the rule of three, and then the four, right? So 1, 2, 3. We just had that fourth attempt. We had that attempt to go down. Now it could bounce here. So I'm going to take the money and run, guys. I'll be looking to go ahead and kind of get back into it towards the open. Right there, already getting down to the 29.02. I talked about how I would take it on 29.03s. Let's take the money and run here. All right, there you guys see it. Just took the money and ran. Took my $310 to start the day, and that's exactly what I needed. After yesterday, max loss, $700 day down. What? I'm not going to shy away from trading, guys. I'm going to trade hard, and be smart. Could I have maybe just stayed into that trade? Yes, but the truth is, I got myself the nice little cushion. Now I'll look to see if the Qs head down out the gates and we get that ugly open. Was able to make some cash this morning, and now it's time to put it to work. Time to use that cushion to make some more. All right, let's keep it going. Wish you the best of luck, Shane. Keep getting after it, my friend. Mike, respect to you. Love to see it. And Shane, way to get back into it, man. I love to hear that too. Best wishes on your second account. And like always, man, just stay to your game. Stay into the focus. They call it the present, right? I call it the power of now. If you've never read that book, I would definitely recommend that book as something completely different in life that can really change your perspective. What does it tell you? Focus on the present. Focus on what's happening, not what's in our mind and we're thinking, but what's really happening. And that is a lot of trading. All right, let's keep it going, guys. I love the chat comments this morning. Let's keep them running in the chat. I love to hear it. All right, guys, there's some more that we can talk about it. Let's go to T-Mobile. Of course, T-Mobile's earnings coming in, and they're not looking too bad there. Postpaid added here, 1.9 million. Phone net add 903,000. The EPS was at 257, beating the 226 estimate. Revenues also beat here. The full year 25 outlook of 5.5 million and 6 million net adds. Core EBITDA at 33.1 billion to 33.6 billion. The stock is up 36% year over year, and different ETFs are making a nice little push on this. We'll see what happens in T-Mobile. It's just been best of breed, guys. And this pullback, oh man, what a nice little pullback. Now giving you the opportunity, and now a big rip right back up towards the 240s. We'll see if this starts to pull back, but AT&T also getting the lift off of this. We'll see if it can continue to run. And why do I think this one could run today? Well, it's a dividend player, right? And in a day where there's uncertainty, there's going to be a lot of people searching for some dividend play. Q's shaking me a little bit there. I think they're starting to head right back down here, as they did get a little bit of a bounce above my level, the 522, but then started to reject it here. So the gates, out of the gates, is going to be very important to be ready to go and ready to get after it today, guys. Oh, man. Maybe it's because I don't have Michael Noss in here to tame my bearishness, but I'm feeling the bearishness today. The Bears are out. The Bears. All right, guys, let's keep it going in the chat. If you guys have a stock you guys want to watch today, throw it up there. We'll take a look at that. And definitely not bad a start-off day, guys. $310 into the green. SQQQ. Of course, you guys can keep up with my Twitter to find out different positions if I open them up when I'm not on the show, of course. We'll take a look at different stocks that are moving today. One of the things that I like to do is look at the volume surge, right? Let's go looking at some of these smaller setups, because I'm really ready to nail one of these smaller setups. Maybe I nail one of these out the gates. If we can get some up action out the gates here, we'll see what happens. Q's just fighting around right now and could take another dip, right? They could take another dip here and then finally get through. It's not even 9 a.m. here. Let's pay attention and see what we can find. Another play can be success today, guys, which is the bearish semiconductors. Of course, we got the semiconductors coming back, but I would watch this, right? Because I think it could fill the gap back towards at least 22 out the gates. That's not a big run, but that's another 60 or 55 cents higher. So we'll see what happens with that. If we can get some pullback out the gates, where would I see the pullbacks going to? Probably where this resistance was, towards the 2118s. So if we can get a pullback, that's kind of one way to play it. We'll see what happens here on the leverage play of success. And let's talk about the news, really, right? The news that's around that I think is a major focus, right? Which is the Alibaba news. I don't know if you guys caught this, but definitely we need to talk a little bit more about it, as Alibaba comes out with their own AI, right? And this gave it a nice little lift, guys. And I've been talking about how China has been a trade that I didn't want to miss this year, and I am missing it, guys. This is a pure example of a swing trade style chart that is looking great. Look at the weekly MACD. Look at the daily MACD. We already got the cross. Now we're getting the weekly cross. I'd be looking for a daily pullback to jump in this. Let's say if it comes back to 90, I definitely would want it. But at this point, I think you're seeing the strength already in Alibaba. We'll see if we get some pullback. Take a look at FXI for large cap ETF of China. And you guys can see how this is starting to get going. I think you could also look at Yin, which is the leverage play for China that hasn't really taken off here. I do see a nice little trend line that you can clearly see. I mean, this is a nice little break of a trend line. So I would start to look to see if at that point, can we just hold the resistance? So the resistance was right here. We broke above it. We held it yesterday, and now it started to take off. So any pullback to the 30 on the yin seems to make sense for me. Right now, it's holding up here towards 32. So I would look for some pullback myself, but it does make me feel interested in the China trade overall. All right, DJT could be kind of interesting today, of course. Yeah, it's up big. Let's take a look at it, guys. It's up 14.45%. Just recently got a big spike there. Let's talk a little bit about what's going on since 8:30. Big spike there towards the 35.54s. And I had this level drawn, and I'm going to continue to watch that because that was a kind of a takedown level. It was right here, right? So the takedown level was on this green day, and now they're using it as resistance. So I need to see it get back above 35 today to really get interested in this. Why? Because it rejected this 34.76, right? So right now, I think that's what I'd be watching. Can you get back into the 35s? Right now, you're struggling in the 34.40s. The 34.70s is a big watch, but really close above 35 and show me that you want to keep running today. So this is definitely not a bad one. Trump Media launches fintech services brand. Well, let's see what happens with that, right? I mean, I don't know about you guys, but finance news from Trump, man. Let's just say I won't be interested too much in tuning into that. But let's keep it moving, guys. CVEA. We'll see what happens out there with this. Can we get the continued push? NVDL down big, right? Of course, this is the NVIDIA long, and NVIDIA has been struggling indeed, guys. So we'll see what happens with NVIDIA today. Already down there to 126, and it's starting to bounce back, but it could easily go right back to the 200-day moving average. We'll see what happens there in NVIDIA today. The Q's now getting that up move a little bit. We'll see if we get the takedown right before the open. We did get an ugly kind of, let's say 30 minutes there from about 8 to about, let's say 45, towards like 8:45, right? So let's see what happens here out the gates. That's the reason why I took the money and ran, because I have a feeling that we could get the pullback and then the move right back up. So I'll be looking for a pullback right out the gates to maybe towards the 85, or maybe even down towards like the 80, and then watch it recover back through 29. That's where I want to play it, back through the 29. So give it the chance to get through all that weakness and come back strong through the 29. We'll see what happens there. All right, let's keep it going, guys. I see a lot of you guys tuning in on X, or should I say the Everything app. You guys let me know what's going on out there. Yesterday, I went shorting on PayPal. So I'm going to be looking at PayPal today to see if I can get some more short action on PayPal. This is the one that I went after yesterday. There's a reason why, because what I was looking for was the Everything app, right? We've heard the payment mentioned, right? So now you got more payment processors that are competing against what? Compete against PayPal, right? So at this point, I want to start seeing if PayPal is going to go down off of these mentions. And of course, the market can come down too. So I'll be watching to see what happens there. Anything back above, let's say 88.70s or into the 88 or 89s, yeah, you're going right back up. But if you cut down this 88, you could easily start to cut down the 87, 86 and start to cut down. So this is one that I'll be watching for, especially out the gates. This could be my top play right here out the gates, right? Because right out the gates, I think we're going to see some quick moves, and I want to be able to jump on it. Ion Q is another one, of course, that we could look for that takedown today. But what I would look for on that one is a fake out to the upside and then a fail, right? So fake out towards, let's say, towards this like 39s, 50s. So you're looking like you're going towards 40, and then all of a sudden the fail comes in. We'll see what happens there. Do we get the green to red action? All right, let's keep it moving, guys. We'll see what else is in the market today, guys. And best of luck to my man, Michael Noss in New York. I hope he's able to somewhat hop on for a little bit. I don't know if he's going to be able to get on today, but hey, guys, smash the like. I hope he's having a good time there in New York, taking on, of course, New York City. Probably going to be on the New York Stock Exchange. Going to definitely get some footage out of him. Got to get some footage out of that. So, hey, we'll see what happens out there. Definitely smash the like, guys. We can take a look at some of the earning stocks that are going to be coming later today. So, of course, later today after the close, you get Tesla, you get Meta, you get Microsoft. We've talked about some of these earnings here. We can go through the earnings today. We've talked about some of these already. T-Mobile, we talked about Starbucks, right? We can talk about Lending Club if you guys want to talk about that. I also would pay attention to see what you see before the open tomorrow, because if the big boys come in green, it's going to be very hard to kind of shut down these stocks tomorrow, right? So Caterpillar will be one that I'll be watching tomorrow. What will happen to this, right? The earnings call are going to be first half earnings call is going to be tomorrow, right? So we'll see what happens here with this one. Not bad at all. We'll see what happens there in Caterpillar on the recent earnings, and it's beat revenues 10 out of the 17 times, and something definitely to be looking at. We'll see, guys. Can it get that lift, right? The expectations here are definitely something to look at. EPS estimate 536. and the recent one was 517. So let's see what we get into this 2025. All right, SQ pulling back a little bit further. We'll see what happens out there. That's huge news for DJT. Just looked into that. Thanks for the call out, Shane. Yeah, that's what it's all about. That's what it's all about, man. Definitely catching moments like that and catching news like that. We could also check Benzinga Pro. If you guys don't have Benzinga Pro, definitely check it out, guys. That's one of our partners that you guys can be using. So if you guys have used our partners from using our eValves, let me know in the chat. Mike, Shane, which one of these partners did you enjoy? Did you check one of these out? Let me know. There's some really cool ones. And if you haven't checked out that before, or you have a question about what do I mean by the partners, let me know. I'll definitely take a look and see what I can come up with today. All right, guys, let's keep it moving. Let's see what we can come up with. Cash. Trying to cash today, baby. Trying to cash. We'll see what we come up with and be able to make some good money. All right, let's take a look. What else is making a move here? Planet Labs. Planet Labs, guys. As more and more, satellite conversation. And I want to go ahead and bring in a conversation here because it's always fun. It's always fun to kind of hear the trolls out there. Oh, and the trolls are always out there, man. They're always out there. I'll show you guys something in just a second here. Let me pull it up here. So I was talking about different kind of plays that are available in the market, and there's always a hater out here somewhere, guys. So just understand that if you're getting haters, it's for a reason. I'll show you guys it right here, guys. So I was talking with someone here, Mario Stamanolis. Don't know exactly how to say that last name, but I'll tell you right now, pretty good trader, guys. I always kind of give you guys insights on guys that have some pretty good following and something to kind of look into. Hey, no affiliation to this guy, but I'll tell you guys, hey, check him out, right? Pretty interesting guy here. All into the themes and the way that I like to trade, and really intricate into that. Talks all about it. And I really love conversation like that. So, hey, check it out, guys. And exactly, you saw there a bunch of hate on, of course. What was it on? It was taking a look to see what's going on in that space, right? So the question there was like, well, what are you looking at, right? Well, I said, yeah, you got to definitely look at the themes, right? What themes are kind of holding on, right? The space theme seems to be holding on for now, right? Planet Labs, Black Sky, Rocket Labs, all satellite names kind of hanging on there. And you can see here, RKLB, not doing too bad. We'll see what happens in Black Sky today. Black Sky with a nice little push yesterday, pulled back. Let's see if it can make a move today. These are all names to kind of keep a watch, right? Different themes. You got to know the themes and what's playing out there, whether it be satellites, whether it be nuclear, whether it be semiconductors, whether it might be interest rate sensitive plays, right? You have to know the themes if you want to be able to have some edge in this market. The truth is, everybody can look into scanners and see what stock is up. Not too many people look into themes to understand what theme is doing the best right now, and maybe trading those to the upside could be the best potential return. We'll see what happens here, guys. Smash the like if you guys enjoy the conversation, and throw up a stock that you guys are watching today. Let's go. Let's go. Trader Sync. All right. Not a bad one. The journal life, right? I mean, hey, definitely is very important to kind of keep the journaling action, guys. So smash the like. We got a lot more for you guys. Over 121 of you guys joining in. Do us the favor. Smash that like and hit the subscribe button as we keep going into the market. All right, guys, it's 9:07. The Q's slowing things down a little bit. Pulled back there, but then got the push right back up. Now I'll look for the takedown here as you got some of the bulls that come right back in. Let's see if they go and just start the takedown process here. So a little part of me is thinking about scooping up right back into SQQQ. I'd have to risk at least like $50 of my cash that I just made this morning, but I got no problem with that. Let's see if we can do it here and go right back into it. All right, guys, just got long there on the 28.95s there, guys. So it took a little bit there just to get a little starter here. If it starts to come down, I'll get out of it off of the 28.90s here. We'll see what happens getting a small little pullback right now. Just want to risk about $50 of the cash that I already made. So let's see what happens here if we can just get the Qs to come right back down, right? So right back down, right? So it comes right here, not even wanting it to see it back here towards 522.87. Just going to look for a quick move back to 522 to show the leak in the market. All right, we'll see what happens there, guys. And like always, you guys can keep up with my Twitter to see what's going on with that. I already talked about it. Looking for that ugly open. We'll see what happens there. Zoomies. What's going on in the retail space? I haven't taken a look at retail in a little while here. Let's take a look at the daily chart. It's coming back a little bit. We'll see if it takes a little bit of a hit today. Let's go to the sector outlook. Just take a look overall how sectors have been looking lately. Here you guys see technology. What I'll do is I'll pull this to the side so that we can just kind of run through some of these. All right, so technology, you can see lately it's been kind of just stair-stepping. It took a bearish move down, started to try to make the reversal and the gap right back. We'll see what happens there. Cyclical is looking a lot better. That's what's really raised us up back. So you're talking home improvement, recreational vehicles, things like that are starting to get the push back. We'll see what happens there. Financial services also led that rally back, right? We'll see what happens on that action. Here comes the Qs starting to come down, and I'm already into the green here. I'm thinking about adding if it goes towards the 29 here and then holding break even on the rest. We'll see what happens here. But the only thing is towards the open, it's going to be difficult. I need the price action to get away from me towards the open because if not, the volatility can catch me. So one thing to notice is what? Financials making it all the way almost back to here. So maybe we have like 1 or 2 more days there, but we're starting to slow down a little bit. And if we look at the RSI, you can see that, yeah, it could get extreme for the financial services. It can get all the way up there towards the 87s and 90s. So I don't think it's overbought here. So I think that it can still make the move, right? We can still see this start to push higher. So I think right now we got to keep an eye on this. This is the most interesting area for me. And I've talked about it. Financial services could be the best sector to play in a Trump environment. It wasn't bad on the first Trump presidency. So we'll keep watching that action. All right, starting to see that leak happen there in technology. We'll see if it continues to leak. Communications are up, and a lot of that due to the telecom services, T-Mobile, different names like that. So keep your eyes on that. I saw USM also getting a nice little push. US Cellular Corp. Don't know what happened there. Maybe some earnings came in there, but definitely saw a little bit of a lift there. Healthcare has recently pushed back after really getting beaten down. And I think at this point, you got to watch to see what happens, right? Because you made it back towards a trend line. So now do you break above the trend line or start to pull back? I think it's something definitely to watch for. We've been riding this upper end of the Bollinger Band. Let's see if we start to let go a little bit today. And you can see it already starting to pull back a little bit here. And I can take a look to see like maybe Eli Lilly, things like that. Will that let go, right? It did bounce back here. It got back towards 800. If that starts to let go, these are the names that could start to see a hit. BKTX has continued back down towards the 4. That was for a little while viewed as a darling. You got Regeneron, right? That's been coming down. NVO, that's been coming down. Even Moderna, that's been trying to get the bounce, has gotten a bounce, but it's not a big bounce. It's just a small bounce right back. So we'll see what happens in the healthcare space. Basic materials and gold. Gold is one that I was watching AU, and AU started the trend higher and has been holding well. So at this point, I think we continue to watch gold. Gold is on watch today, on a day where we could get some downside action. Let's see if gold wants to get back above the 1617. So I'll put an alert there for you guys to let you guys know if gold starts coming into play today. So let's see if we can just break maybe that $16 and then start taking a watch on this. I'll put an alert up there towards about 1605 today. But gold, definitely one that I'd keep an eye out for. All right, guys, we'll see what happens in the market today and what will happen to the Qs. The Qs are just kind of hanging out here now. They're going a little bit sideways here. They did get a little bounce off of that, came back to the 9 EMA. Let's see what happens here. If it starts to push, I can get out. If it starts to break down, I can look for the real kind of win here towards the open. All right, guys, let's go to the small names and take a look to see what is going on in the penny stock. So let's go ahead and take a look at my scanner. My scanner is telling me Ocean W, biomedical one that's kind of a 6-cent name. So I'm not going to stress too much about that. I'll look into some other ones. Maybe let me filter out some of these really penny ones because the penny ones just ain't it for me, guys. Ain't it right now. Let's go ahead and let's put $1. So I'll just put $1 there just to kind of filter out some of these smaller ones. ORKT. Let's take a look at that one here. You guys have the scanner. I'll throw it up right here so that you guys can follow it. And I could actually, you know, pull this out if you guys want me to have it out so that we can follow it along. Actually, you know what? Let's do that today. Let's have a little fun. I'm going to pop this tool out. So you can just do that. You can pop it out there. And now I can keep it into the corner, right? And what I will do is I'll try to kind of tighten this down a little bit so that we can get it in here. All right, so that's the percentage change. This is the overall change. I'm going to actually put this over here because I'm just trying to tighten it down here so that you guys can see the 15-minute, the 5% move, which is this one. And then that's it, the price, right? So we're going to try to keep it small here so that we can go ahead and fit everything in here. All right, so the first box is that's the 5-minute, and then there's the 15-minute change on the right-hand side of it. So let me actually just put it over this one here. I'm gonna close down this one. I'm gonna minimize this one, and I'm gonna bring it in right here for us today. All right, let's scroll this down a little bit here. That's the problem. They don't resize very well. Let's just say that much. But yeah, we'll see what happens there. There we go. At least I was able to get it towards where I can zoom it out. That will probably help it. It gets a little small, but let me know out there, guys, how this is working well or not working. I might have to actually make it a little bit bigger here. Here, this is what I'm going to do. This might work. There you go. I'll just throw it in the background like that. And then when I need it, I'll pop onto it. And when I don't, I won't. Right there, guys. Right there is not looking too bad there. 1052 right now, TNFA. So let's take a look at that one. TNFA. All right, so TNFA just got to pop off that 130. We'll look to see if it gets to the 155. We got MOBX, Moblix Labs, another one to keep an eye out for. We'll see what happens on this one. All right, guys, getting the pullback in the SQQQ is about to get out. If it cuts the 89 here, and it's just about to cut the 89 into the 88s, got to go ahead and get out there. So have the order ready to go ahead here. And if I need to, I'll get out and get back in. All right, PL, of course, Planet Labs. So I'll be watching Black Sky as Planet Labs got a nice kind of a nice contract there. So we'll look to see if Black Sky can get the lift right back up here. Yesterday, getting the lift to 17. It's at $14 right now. Can it push back? I'll be watching for this to get back above, let's say, especially like the 1440s. That's not a bad area to start looking to see if we can get the push above. So Black Sky Technology on the radar. DJT now showing up, of course, and that's going to be moving all around, guys. So keep your eyes on that action. What's up out there? Matty Trades. What's going on out there, guys? Let me go ahead and try to get you big here. Matty Trades it looks like is complaining a little bit about some rules here. And I mean, we just had 2 or 3 people in the chat said that they just got the eValve, and actually Shane's gotten it twice. So I know that it's difficult, and sometimes rules can make you feel a little bit constricted. But the truth is, Matty, is that reason why we have rules is that we're a prop firm, right? And Trade the Pool, as being a prop firm, is going to make sure that it respects its capital the same way that you would be doing if you were lending out all this money, right? So, hey, if this is too difficult for you to succeed on our eValves, even on the limited programs like the new limited and the new buying power, where we made it easier for you, then it's going to be very hard for you to also find success as a trader outside of here. So I wish you the best of luck, Matty. It's not to hit you bad or anything like that, but it's just how it is, man. And from the trailing drawdown to not being allowed full positions in the pre-market, I mean, that's just what it is, man. And I can tell you that because I've traded in plenty different brokerages, even off exchange ones, even like, let's say, names like back in the day, Shore Trader, man. Trust me, I've seen it all. So I can tell you, Matty, hey, you just got to find your way to get to your system that can work for these types of rules. If these rules don't work for you, then maybe we're not for you. We're not for everyone. And it is what it is, right? I agree. It is what it is, guys. All right, guys, we'll see what else is out there. and the platform not as good fills. That's okay. That's normal, right? At the end of the day, one of the things you got to understand is when you're getting fills, it's all about the execution, routing, and things like this that I talk about on the show. I'm fully transparent about it, Maddie. If you want to learn a little bit more about it, hey, stick around, my friend. And a very low daily pause allowance is a great thing. It actually keeps me safe, and it should keep you safe. So if you hit that, it keeps you what? Blowing up accounts. That's one of our biggest things. And as a trader, if you're hitting those max losses, maybe you're a little bit too big. That's just the truth of things. All right, guys, we'll see what else is out there. Sorry for addressing that, guys. And the truth is, it's all about trying to be on the positive. Mitch, don't lie. You know, you got a bag for working for Trade the Pool. Yeah. Do I get paid for working for Trade the Pool? Yeah, I work for Trade the Pool every single day. But at the end of the day, do I trade? And you guys have literally seen me make money here? Yeah, that's what it's all about, man. I mean, at the end of the day, guys, hey, there's always going to be some guys that just feel like they can't make it. Look at Shane. Shane's working right now, man. This guy went from eValve to funded, back to the eValves, knocked out another eValve, and is funded again. So, hey, some people are going to struggle with it. Some people aren't, right? All right, guys, let's keep going. We'll see what else is out there. Could you show how you execute limit orders using hotkeys? Not seem to be making that work. All right, so there's not exactly hotkeys per se here. And so that's one thing I will say immediately. What I will say is there's still some ways to use certain hotkeys. So there's not hotkeys, but there's what's called hot buttons. So if you go to your chart and you right click on it, you can go ahead and activate chart trading, right? And things like that. And I think that that's the important thing. Another thing is you see here on the top right, there's like a little, like a kind of a shopping cart. If you go ahead and set that up, you should start to see these buttons, but you got to maybe start to trigger these. You got to go into the settings and you got to go into the order entry, chart order entry. You see these hot buttons. So these are going to be hot buttons and then quick trading, right? You got to make sure you know how to use this. There's also click trading, mouse trading that you can look into. That's a whole nother ball game. But this here has your order right here. So let's say if I wanted to buy 200, I'd put 200 here. I could put in the day, right? Or setting that up, right? And then I could buy on the ask or buy on the bid, right? And that's just keeping it simple, right? Or buying the market or selling the market, right? Or closing the trade, right? Or reversing the trade. This is just one way that you guys can be using your charts to get the best trading action. All right, guys, 9:21. We got to get ready to go here. It's getting closer and closer towards the bell. The cues, what is going on there? Let's take a real quick peek to see what's happening here, because a break of resistance means we got to go on our trade here. So setting up here, getting ready for the action. NVNI already getting the lift there. NVNI. So we'll see what happens on this one. This one got to 650s. Now coming back down towards the 6. I want to be focused on the penny names today because I want to get that account. So what I'm going to do is cut this trade right here because I could stay in it. But to tell you the truth, it's just going to put pressure to me focusing towards this trade, towards the open, instead of where I'm really focused on, which is getting that limited account. So I'm going to go ahead and focus in on that and nail it out. Can I use hotkeys on the platform? Yeah, not necessarily hotkeys, but hot buttons that we have available to you. So if you haven't checked that out, hey, there you go. You get to learn it, man. What time frame will you use to enter a trade? Well, it really depends, right? Honestly, for penny stocks, I'm more than okay with using like a 1 minute. I really don't like using 1 minute charts because it has a tendency of causing what's called fear, right? When there's 1 minute, there's a lot of candles and there's a lot of green and red action, which usually just ends up causing some fear. Right, just cut it out there, $55 down. Remember, I made about 300, so still up 250 on the day. Not going to be mad about that. So what I like personally, best time frames for me, 15 minutes and hourly charts. That's where I feel the best edge is. But it's very hard to use an hourly chart and just tell you guys that, because the truth is that you guys would have to wait like an hour to see my trades kind of happen. A lot of times I like to see hourly recoveries. So like maybe washouts to the support on the hourly that look bearish on the 5 minute, 1 minute, but then recover. These are how a lot of the institutional traders trade. They trade with 15 minutes to an hourly. They don't trade inside that 15 minutes And that's where I started to take the perspective of, hey, if they trade on 15 minutes and an hour, maybe I should also. And what does this do? It gets you around the 1 minute kind of panic moves that usually traders tend to struggle making decisions. I'm not saying that you can't trade a 1 minute pattern, but there's not many traders that can do it consistently. I will tell you that. All right, let's keep going, guys. Watching PL for flat top breakout here at 650. Love it, Shane. I think that's definitely one that's on the radar. Black Sky, another one on the radar today. Let's see what we can come up with, guys. I got to take this sweater off, but just give me a second here, guys. It's too crazy of a day. I got to get ready for the open here. It's hot, man, and I'm ready to go. So I'll put the screen really big, and I'll be right back before the gates here. All right, traders, welcome back. Let's get after it, guys. Bell's about to happen. I'm up 250, ready to switch over to the limited account. We'll be watching to see what happens out the gates with the Qs. Do we get the downside action to come right back in here? So what I'm going to be doing is probably doing a little bit of a mix here. I'll focus in on catching what penny stocks move here. Try not to trade the gates. And we'll be looking to see what is the best stock to maybe trade there, right? Really, I'm looking for the SQQQ and trying to nail this Q's opening here. Let's see what happens here, guys. It's about to open up. It's 9:28. We got just about 2 minutes left. Q's already starting to trickle. as it went down to the 88s, now bouncing right back into the 90s here. Success is another way to maybe play this move here out the gates. We'll see what happens. Already bouncing on that one and getting a little bit of a lift there. So, hey, here it is, guys. Already the action starting to happen right before the gates here. Let's see what we get today. All right, guys, let's get after it, guys. And if you guys have a stock that's on your radar, let me know. Like always, you guys can throw up some setups in the chat. I see a lot of you guys joining in on X, the everything app, baby. Let's go. Let's see what we can come up with today. Ready to get after it. All right, let's see how the Twitter streets are going right before the pop here. And already there, 29.97s right before the bell. We're already getting the cues, starting to make a little bit of a leak move. And there it is, ugly open starting up here. Let's see if it really stays ugly here, or do we get a bounce? All right, looking around out there, guys. All right, looking around out there. Retail is so powerful right now. It's hard to fight them. All right, we'll see what happens out there. A lot of action going on out there. We'll be definitely watching the China names today. Rigetti, Tesla, Meta, Microsoft. What's going to happen out there? SLKN. Here's the open, guys. There's the open, and look at the spike right there. Opening spike right out the gates there. I'm looking to see if maybe I take a little bit of a shot here in the SQQQs. A little bit of a pullback there. Q's still leaking here. Let's see what happens here. Do we get some type of up attempt at least? Looking to see if we can go green candle for a second there. We're not going green candle, and if anything, green candle in the SQQQs as it looks to try to recover 29 here. Might take a little bit of a scalp here opportunity and go for it. Yeah, looking good there, guys. I just took the 29s there. I'm going to take a really quick trade here to see if it starts to make the move. We'll hold off the kind of the 95s, maybe risk another $50 here to see if we can get this first little drive action here. 1,000 shares deep along on the SQQQ, essentially shorting the Qs that you're seeing right in front of you. Let's see if we can get the little spike there and take some cash. There's a little bit of a spike there. That's what I'm talking about. Now it can be break even on the rest and just look to try to make some cash here. Let's see if we can really get the spike. Qs went down there. Now 29.07. There we go. Now we're getting a little bit of a move here. Now we could get a pullback to stop me out here at the 29. That's fine if it gets me out. I'm going to give it at 1 penny here and just see if it can really start to go through the 29.10s here. Does look pretty decent here. Just need the Qs to continue the week here, week open here, and just push through towards the 29.10s. If I take a look at the penny stocks right now, we're not looking too bad there. I just put out the break-even stop there to see if I make some cash here. Let's see if it really starts expanding here and going towards like the 29.20s, 29.30s. That would be a nice little extra $200 here. Let's see what happens. There's the 29.10s there. Now I'm getting a little bit more of a lift here. Let's see if I can go ahead and at least start to really push here into the 29.20s, 29.30s here. Look at the SQQQ here, guys. I'm up there to 29.10s. Got in there at the 29s. Now let's see if it can break the resistance from the pre-market, which is right there to the left. Let's see if we can take it out here. That's going to be a move through the 29.11s, and I won't let it go back through 29. All right, guys, got to go looking around out there. I'm seeing Tesla get the jump out there. Rigetti get the jump. I'm seeing other names get the jump. So I need to go looking for some other trades out there. We'll be looking at PayPal also. Different names out there that maybe kind of take a look into. There's a little bit of a bounce in PayPal today. We'll see what happens. But the SQQQ now starting the 29.12s, looking pretty decent here. Let's see if we can get this to really lift off here and take some cash. All right, 29.13s, not looking too bad at all here. Looking for the continued push here. And there we go, 29.13s now. Let's get it. Let's get it. Let's make some money, guys. RGTI. There you go. I appreciate you, Shane. Focus in. Nail it, Shane. I want to hear you nailing some trades. Let me know how it goes today, my friend. And wish all you guys the best of luck out there. Stay focused. Stay in your game like we talked about. In the zone. Present focused. That is very vital. All right, guys, let's keep it going, guys. You guys know where you're at. It's TTP Live, guys. Let's go. 29.19 there. Just hit for a second there. Let's see if we can take that out. If we take that out, I can start to raise the stop loss a little bit here and make sure that at least we pay ourselves $100 on any pullback. Let's see if we can take out the 29.20s. If not, I'll take $100 on this trade at the minimum here. There we go. SQQQ trying to make that lift right back up there. The 15-minute chart. You guys are watching it here. Looking for the reload at 29.11s here. If not, it could just keep going here. Let's go. 29.15 starting to run into a little bit of some altitude. So the Qs could be bouncing a little bit there. There comes that 29.10s for the reload here. This is where I think they could reload it right there at the 29.11s. Exactly what happened there. A nice little bounce off of that. Right back towards the 29.15s. Now I can go ahead and set the stop at 29.10s as this pushes through the high. I'll look for the breakout through 29.20s here. Looking really good out the gates here, guys. There's 29.16s. There's 29.18s. Now look for the 29.20s to show. There we go. Looking pretty good out the gates here, guys. Up about 189, now about 200 here. So looking pretty good, guys. In a second here, might be able to just take the cash and look for a pullback to maybe jump onto the VWAP. There's a nice little push there, guys. So raising it up now towards 29.15 on the stop and riding that wave here, guys. Not bad call here for right out the open. You guys can see the chart trading right there, guys. So this is another way to maybe take a look at things. So I just set the stop there. Now I can set the target profit. Wouldn't be a bad move if it went to like 29.30s, 29.40s. That's about 400. So at minimum, I make 150 right now. And on the top side, I can make 400. That's the way I'm going to set it up here. Probably going to cut me out at the 29.15. I'm okay with that. Right there. Boom. I'm out. Take that money and run, baby. Take that money up 390, guys. Up 390 to start the day. Let's go. Let's keep working. Let's go back to the smaller account and see if we can find some small stocks getting set up here. All right, so the Qs could still do that move and still kind of fade down, but they could come right back to the VWAP here first or the top end of the range. That's why I'm taking the cash and trying to just keep playing the rinse and repeat today. Let's go. Not a bad little cash way to start the day. You know what I talk about that, guys. That's a nice little money game here. Like always, guys, a little money rain to start it going, guys. Let's go. Let's go. Little money. Let's go. Let that money come down on you. I wish you guys the best of luck today. Hoping you're cashing in always. Let's go. All right. What else we can come up with here? Let's get it, guys. Let's make that cash. All right. Got some alert there. Gold. GOLD, guys. GOLD getting the lift there. And I've talked about how I wanted to play this one. And look at the lift off right out the gates there. Gold with a nice little push up. I'm down for gold here, guys. I don't mind grabbing this here. It's already kind of lifting here. I'm looking for a little slight pullback on it. Gold here. 1,000. Let's see if I can grab it here on the pullback. I would love for it to come back to 16 or maybe even 1590s. Really looking for this kind of like 1598s. But definitely GOLD looking really good and juicy this morning. This one I could go in even in the penny, the smaller account. This is not a bad little trade here to maybe look at to make some cash today. Of course, the Qs would have to still struggle, but that's not a bad one to watch. Tesla going green now to red here. So that's something definitely to see. Rigetti still holding on right now, and QUBT. I'm looking around out there, guys. All right, let's go ahead. Let's get back into it. Let's take a look here. Got some cash there. Looking at the Qs here. The Qs are still on the downside right out the gates here. Nice little downside action. Looking to see if we get the continuation here. SQQQ right back up there, so I could go right back into it. It's just kind of like the scout game here, and it's working there. Now we're going right back towards the 25, so looking pretty good on that action there. Downside coming in here. Tesla now starting to come down. Microsoft red. Is Apple red? No, Apple is not red yet. That's the one that's hanging on there. Nvidia getting a hit there hard. Gold looking like it's holding on to this 1605 pullback there. Could keep going here. I'm going to switch over to the other account because I want to go trading out there. I've already made a pretty decent amount in the other one here out the gates here. So, hey, not bad, not bad. All right, not bad at all, guys. We'll see what happens out there. SQQQ still holding on. Gold trying to pull back here. AU is another way to play this. I love AU when it trends, man, and it's starting to trend here. It's starting to hold that 9 EMA and start to come right back up. Also, you could take a look at what's leading in the gold area today, right? I'll be watching that. That's PZG right now. You got NG, Goro out there, some smaller names really kind of making the move there. Let's go to the penny names. Let's take a look at some of that action. NVNI leading the action there. Let's take a look here now towards, it's halted on the 710 here. I wanted to watch this one out the gates and I missed it, guys. So I will say that's on me. Right, so it did come back towards 6, made that breakout towards 7. I'm looking for another one to maybe catch the run there. SGN, Signing Day Sports. This one is looking really strong this morning. Let's go look at this one, SGN. Ooh, look at the strength there, guys. Already ripping off here. I'm looking for a slight pullback here to the 350s. If it could happen, it looks pretty decent there. We'll see what happens. Nice little lift off to start the day here. SGN. Can I get back towards the 350s on a quick little micro dip? That's what I'm looking for. All right, looking into the chat here and looking into what's going on out there, guys. What's up? What's up? How we doing? Appreciate you, man. Appreciate you, Shane. SGN on Watts. There you go, man. I hope one of those were able to pay you. NVNI, really good move. Nice trade. I would pair the shorts of the TQQ rather than the long SQQQ. Just a bit easier for me. Hey, great mention, Rando. Hey, if you're able to kind of nail that out, hey, nail it out, my friend. It's good to hear that you're able to kind of get after whichever trade, right? The fun part is on Trade the Pool, you can just go short TQQQ, right? It's just an easier way sometimes. I agree. Oh, SGN now holding, now $4 break out there, guys. This is one that definitely could have made me the money today. And a really nice setup, right? Nice pullback to the VWAP. It pushed above, held the VWAP sideways, now pushing through. Look at that move. Beautiful, beautiful move. SGN pushing and pushing there. Now 428s. So definitely really good action there on this name. All right, guys, looking around out there, I'm starting to see QUBT. I'm starting to see RGTI actually pushing to the upside today. Wouldn't you know it? I played it yesterday to the upside. It didn't get it today. It's pushing pretty strong here. We'll see what happens on that one. Trying to get up there towards the hourly. I'm looking if it does an hourly rejection around the 1350. It's a big spot. Q's overall and RCAT doing well there, but Q's still continuing on the downside, now down to 520s now. So SQQQ probably taking off here towards the 29.25s. Could go for another scalp here, but we're looking really nice at the bottom end of this, right? So if I did, I had to switch over to the other account and scalp it right there. And I wouldn't mind it, but I'm trying to go make money in the other account. This still looks pretty good there. RNAS now showing up, of course. This one was the biggest mover of yesterday's action. It got up there towards 11 now, and this thing was rocking and rolling yesterday. Let's see if it rocks and rolls today. Getting up there almost to the 11 here on RNAS. OKYO, another one that's getting the lift there off the 130s there. We'll see what happens on that. TVGN, also another known runner, getting the push there. SQQQ, nice little breakout there. Could have done the scalp play right there already. So we'll see if it gets the lift there through the 29.36. That's where we kind of stopped right now. PL pulling back there, nothing going on that one. Black Sky also pulling back there. Taking a look at ASTS to see how space is going, and this is why it's probably getting hit a little bit more. ASTS, big leak down today. Rocket Labs being able to hold on right now. That's one that I'm keeping an eye on for. That one on the daily still being able to hold on, and it's right off the 9 EMA. Let's see if it can recover 30s and go towards 32 today. SQQQ still holding on there. Still the high of the 29.36. We'll look to see if it breaks it, but definitely some pullback in the market. RKLB still holding on there. We'll see what happens with this other one. RDW is another one that's been watched often lately. Let's see if this one can keep pushing. This is a known kind of penny stock that kind of went from $3 to 22. Oh my God. It's been a big run on this. All right, guys, going to the Qs. The Qs are struggling fast today, guys. And there it is. There it is, guys. The ugly open, guys. The ugly open that I was looking at. And guys, you guys heard it here first, right? Where else are you guys getting this, right? Who else was talking about maybe potentially ugly open today? Not many, I can tell you. Go looking on CNBC. Tell me you can find one person that said it. I don't think you'll find them. Starbucks starting to pull back there. We'll see what happens on that one. TMUS is another one to maybe play on this pullback. Why? Because you're seeing a pullback on this, but it could start to rip right back up here. I like this T-Mobile here on the VWAP. Could go right back towards the 240s and start to break out towards the pre-market high. Pre-market high 239.98. Doesn't look too bad there. We'll see if it gets right back up there in T-Mobile. All right, now starting to see that pullback in the SQQQs. Couldn't break the 29.36. So let's see if we pull back here to the 29.05 and then we get the lift off. Verizon down out the gates here. We'll look to see if it starts to come back here. AT&T pulling back towards the VWAP. Will it get a VWAP bounce right back up here? Something to look at. BNZI, let's go to it, guys. Just got the lift there. So now we're seeing this BNZI start to make a move. It looks good on the 15-minute. I like the pattern here. I would like to see some more volume come into this. Let's see how the volume stepped up there. It did step up there about 200,000 shares, right? Yeah, 326,000. Let's see now on the pullback, where do we get the action? Can we get some filling in towards the 146 and 147 and then back through 150? There's SQQQs just making a new high there. So, boom. Just continuing, guys. Gold now pulling back there. That's going to be an opportunity there. We'll see what happens on that one. It's holding on pretty well there, guys. Pretty well. A little part of me is thinking about going after this one in the smaller account, even though I like the BNZI setup. This seems to make more sense for me on a day like today where you're seeing the struggle out the gates. Let's go to the Qs, see what's getting hit the most, what isn't. Right now, I'm looking at the Qs and trying to see what's leading on the downside. Lam Research, Applied Materials. So pretty much it looks like the semiconductor equipment stocks. Some software names taking a really hard beating today. Some cybersecurity names. ARM pulling back there. So definitely Marvell getting a big hit. These tech names are really starting to bleed here. How's the VIX? VIX jumping there, going towards 43.22s. Could keep pushing here. We'll see what happens as we still see the weakness. I'm looking for a little bounce there on the Qs. Make it look like you want to bring it back towards 522, 523s, and then we'll look to see if we start to kind of fade again. AMD down the 115.20s. We'll see if it gets the bounce. BNZI right back down towards that 150. Not seeing as much volume buy on this thing as I like to see. There was a 2,000 buy there, and not much on the sizing. So that's the one thing about BNZI. Didn't really make a huge move. It made a 6-cent pop, right? Now I'm seeing QUBT start to fail, guys. And so QUBT is definitely a target maybe on the downside here as it keeps failing the 10, keeps failing the 10. Now just going short, now starting to crumble there, starting to cut down. All right, guys, I don't mind this one. This is not a bad little setup here. I'd take a look at IonQ to see what's going on there. I want to see IonQ fail first before I go shorting on these quantum names. So I'm looking at that one, and I can see IonQ cutting 39 today. So I'm keeping that in mind here. There's the weakness coming in there. Now I see more weakness coming in there. Now let's see if RTTI doing the same kind of setup. Weakness starting to come in here. It's definitely an indecision type of day right here out the gates of a QUBT leading the downside in the quantum names. SGN's a beast. Yeah, dude, it is a beast, man. Oh, man, that was a good one there. Shane, good call out, my friend. I saw it at the 380s, 370s by the time I saw it. Mess this one up, guys, because this was a nice little setup. And I'm glad you're able to nail that one, Shane. Get that cash, my friend. IBRX, another one that's making a little bit of a lift there. Got towards the 350s, continuing right now. We'll look to see if we see some more action there. QUBT starting to go down there, so I might get after Ion Q here. Getting that bounce back in some names here. We'll see if we get another move back up, or do we start to see the flush? NXT doing really well, guys. It's a solar name. SMR also bounce back day in nuclear names. So that is one name that I do see coming back today. Nano Nuclear up there to 38.52. OKLO probably doing the same thing. A nice little spike here out the gates here. We'll look to see if it can actually recover some of the action from the prior days. QUBT now down towards the 990s here as that starts to fade off here. I'm looking to see if Ion Q is going to go into the same thing. All right, Ion Q looking pretty weak there. Tried to get back up and pop above here. I'd like to see it go to 39.50s here and then reject to go back towards the 39.70s. It's already starting to cut down a little bit, though. Want to see it attempt one more time to kind of come back for a trend line approach, right? Come up towards this kind of 39.50s and then fail down towards the 39s. RNAS showing up on the scanners there now towards 1130s. We'll look to see if this starts to reject some hourly resistance. Right around the 1180s is the area that I could see this maybe rejecting here. 1178, we're right near that level. Let's see what happens on that. There goes that push on RNAS towards that 12 move. Let's see if it gets above 12 or does it start to fade off of that. There's Ion Q starting to get the lift there. All right, looking around out there, guys, trying to keep up with everything. I'm seeing GLD make the move that I was looking for. So gold now starting to push above the 1605. I like that outlook there. Could go for a scalp here in gold, and it's starting to get the jump there now towards 609, 1609. It doesn't look too bad at all here for the scalping action in gold. NEM is another way to maybe play this. There's a gold player there. So you guys can look into different plays out there with gold. Definitely a good day for gold. Qs are weak. Went down to the 520s today, guys. SQQQ up there towards 29.35s. Now starting to pull back. All right, still seeing the weakness around out there. Now I'm seeing some quantum names come back there. I'm seeing gold still hold on. USEG doing pretty well. It looks like to me, Fubo now getting a little bit of a lift there. That's interesting to see. Fubo finally get a little bit of a push. This thing's been sleepy, guys. It's been sleeping. Can it get off this $4 today? Not a bad looking play here in Fubo setup here. I kind of like it, guys. I kind of like it. All right, there's Fubo starting to get the move there. I kind of like this, guys. I'm going to go for it here. Let me see if I can get a quick little pullback here towards like 408. It's jumping there. I'm putting out my order 408s. Come on. Come get me. Seeing that downside action come in here. That means the market's pushing to the upside a little bit here. We're getting that bounce, so we're getting that pullback there. I need Fubo to pull back, though. It's just pushing here. Come reload. at 406. All right, what's going on out there, traders? I'll keep up with you guys. How do you scan your stocks? So there's a different things, right? If you want to learn this scanner at the bottom, this is a Benzinga Pro scanner, and I'm looking at the change in 5%. So change in 5%. So what has happened in the last 5 minutes? BNZI is up 9%. And on the right-hand side of this is 15 minutes. So looking at a stock that's up, what, in the 5 minutes and 15 minutes. I love 5% up and 10% to the right-hand side. So just to kind of give perspective on that. We'll see what happens on Fubo. It's still holding on well here off the 413s. Could just push through and get through the high here. All right, looking around out there, seeing a little bit of a bounce there. SGN was one of the best movers of the day, now towards 628. It's crazy to think it, but yeah, it's up there. All right, BNZI is another one that's been moving out there. And what are you guys looking at? Let's get after it. Make that money, Cliff. Based on what technical factors, so it just depends, right? Scanning, you can go on technicals. I mean, there's so many different scans, guys. I would take a look at Trade Ideas if you are looking for the top scanners in the business. I definitely think they're one of the top, and they're part of our partners. So if you guys want to check that out, you guys can always check it out. Where's Wisdom? He was here just the last couple of days. I think he might have taken a step out today, though. All right, let's get it, guys. Let's get it. All right, looking around out there, trying to go ahead and nail this out here. The SQQQ's Q's still weak, guys. It's a bloody open today, guys. All right, like always, guys, smash the like out there, guys. Let me check in a look into the Twitter crowd. What up out there, guys? Hey, you traders out there on Twitter, I just put it up. How we doing, traders? How we doing out there, guys? Let me know on X that you're tuning in right now. You guys see it? Just click the stream. You guys can comment also. Throw up some stocks. Let's do it. Let's go. Let's go. I'll tell you one thing. Listening to myself, it's always weird. Let's go, guys. I see a lot of you guys tuning in out there. Smash the like, hit the subscribe if you're not subscribed already, guys. We got more for you guys. I'm trying to run away with the money bag today. Who's getting that money bag out there? Who's taking it, lifting it, and getting out of this market today, guys? Let's get after it. Let's get that money. Let's go. All right, looking for some more action out there. Trying to make some cash here, guys. Let's go. All right, there was Fubo. Went down to 407. Didn't get to the 406 just yet, but I'm keeping an eye on it here. SGN pulled back there. Fubo trying to hold on to the VWAP here. We'll see if it's able to hold on the VWAP and then really start to take back off towards the highs. 425 being that high. I could see this maybe getting to 450s today. So that's the perspective, at least. All right, Q's coming back. A bunch of stocks starting to come back here. So I think we're going to maybe make an attempt back here towards the VWAP or that range. Let's see what happens here. And that's when I'm looking at this Fubo. I'm thinking about taking a shot right here. All right, let's see if Fubo starts to get going again here. It pulled back to the VWAP. Here it is. Let's see if we get a slight tick underneath to 406, and then it comes right back up. That's what I'm looking for, guys. So 407 shows up there on the bid. Looking for that 406, and then we might take the shot right here. I'll do it right here in the order box for you guys. Q's still pretty weak there. Gold now up to 1610. So that's still doing well there, guys. That's one name that I would maybe try to take a little bit of a scalp opportunity. If the Qs still stay weak, that could be a nice scalp. All right, here comes that 408 to the 406 here. And I want to go trade in the main account too, because I'm seeing the market come down here. I want to take the SQQQ, but I'm going to stay on the sideline for that for right now. I'm still looking to see if IonQ can pull down below the 39s there. It started to kind of go up to 40, then it kind of failed. So I'm looking to see if it catches this trend line back up, or do we start to reject it going to the 39s here? And then that could be really the let go. There's Fubo coming right back down into that 406. So now I'll look to see if it recovers and then starts to get back above VWAP, 408. Gold still looking good out there. GOLD, guys. Gold, GOLD looking interesting. It's a nice little scalp type of play. How's the Bitcoin names out there? Not doing too good here today. MSTR starting to pull back. CleanSpark got hit hard yesterday. Mara's starting to come back a little bit. Let's go to the sector outlook here, guys. I would definitely want to take a look at that. I'm going to do this by just changing this up right quick. I want to definitely take another kind of assessment right here. Utilities leading the upside, financials leading the upside, and energy leading the upside. Basic materials right behind that. And what do we see leading? Of course, we talked about how gold has been doing well today. Let's take a look at this. Silver and gold, man. Silver and gold and steel doing really well there. So silver taking off there, AG up 3.75% and continuing the push. MAG also getting the lift. Fubo just did that recovery. Now it looks a lot interesting for me. Looks better now. We'll see what happens here. Now recovering that 410 here. Doesn't look bad here, guys. I'd have to risk off of that 404 action here. So about $50 in risk if I want to take the shot here. Qs are just so weak. It's kind of hard, guys. The Qs still really weak here. GOLD doing well there, guys. Now to 612, 1612s. We talked about that it could break 16 today. It broke 16 and hasn't looked back. Catching some comments in the chat. What's up out there, guys? First time here. Welcome to the show. Hit the like, guys. I really appreciate it, man. It really tells me that you guys appreciate me doing this, right? I could literally be doing this by myself. I do this by myself all the time, especially on those Fridays. I enjoy it, right? Get some trading action in. Like always, guys, we just got to stay focused. Stay focused on what you're looking for. All right, starting to see the market come back a little bit here. Fubo starting to bounce here. I'm going to take a shot on Fubo here, guys. Just looking for the volume to start picking up. The volume is dead right here. So the big part for me right now, and the reason why I haven't got it in, is this dying off volume. So a lot of times I look for some type of volume pop as the trend starts coming back into favor. So you see how the volume's been dying and dying and dying. That's where I start to be a little bit concerned, because we could easily just test the low. All right, Q's coming back now. Finally, the SPY coming back now. Now things feel a lot better here. So let's go ahead. Let's see if we can grab this Fubo and see if we get the shot to make the cash today. All right, there's a little dip towards the 408 to the 406 on the support there. Attempt back towards the lows. I want to see if it washes the 405. If it doesn't, I'll take the shot. All right, guys, and you guys will see me open it up right here. I'll open it up right here so you guys can see it. All right, hit the like. I appreciate it, man. And all you guys tuning in on the Everything app or X, say hello. All right, guys, there's the SQQQs now dipping a little bit there. Some recoveries coming in. Gold starting to pull back. Now Fubo starting to recover. That's my calling. That's my shot. Let's go. Long there, guys. Long 1,000 shares there. 410. Long 1,000 shares here, guys. I'm not shying away, at least. Let's see if we can get it. Taking the opportunity, and you can tell the opportunity is big here. Hands are getting a little clammy. That tells me something. There's very rare times when my hands get clammy. That tells me right now that I'm feeling the pressure. Feeling the pressure tells me maybe manage down once I get into the cash. All right, looking to see if we can get this push. We'll hold off this 405 here. There's a quick sweep right back down, guys. So got to be careful here. Don't want to lose too much. Got to stay within the range here. Stay within the range. It's the Q's rejecting, the SPY rejecting. We're not getting much action on the upside. Right back towards the 405 here. It needs to get right back towards the 410s. Now it's starting to cut down. I want to get out here. I'm trying to get out there between the 404s. There you go. A little bounce there. Now I'll set the stop there at the 404. Our Rigetti now is trying to attempt a new high here. All right, back towards the 408s. We'll see if it starts to take the 410s again. I'm ready to get out at the 405, 404 area if I need to. So another thing we can look at is the MACD, right? And I sometimes look at the MACD to kind of confirm if I'm at least timing things right here. So I look at the 5-minute here. We can look at the 15 minutes. I talked about on the penny name. Sometimes you can, go as low as even the 1 minute. So let's see what happens here. Definitely needs to hold on here and get back above towards the 410s. Have my hand literally on the trigger ready to get out. There, it just hit that out button for a second there. It hit 404 and then just pushed right back off of it. Looking to see if we can get back towards the 407 here, and then I can just drop the stop. There's 407. Now let's see if we can recover it. Seeing the SPY and the Qs starting to recover. So if you're looking for that recovery style move, we're starting to see that recovery there. I'll show you guys that in just a second here. Look at the Qs here. I'm going to show you it. Qs starting to try to come back here. We'll look to see if it can get back towards 522s. If not, it keeps fading. It keeps fading. A lot of this is the heavy tech down day that we're having right now, as tech still is getting hit hard, and so is healthcare. We talked about that those could also get hit. Gold now down to the 1605s. Makes me interested if it can get down there towards maybe 16, and then I can take a shot back towards 1613. Qs and SPY starting to come to the upside. I will state that. SPY now starting to make that upside move here. Let's see if I can start to get the action in Fubo back into the green. All right, there's the SPY starting to climb back here, guys. What are you guys seeing out there? AMD's moving a little bit, shorted SGN. Let's go, Shane. Make that money, my friend. All right, guys, I am within how much right here? I got 1,063. So I need to make what? Pretty much 200. Pretty much 200, guys. Looking for that high of the day breakout here on Fubo. Let's see if we can start to push here on Fubo. This is the setup now. Let's see if they take it through this 425s. Can we do it here, team? Into the green, 1 cent there now. IonQ and those names are pretty interesting too, because they're trying to hold on here. SLXN now starting to show up, guys. This one is one that's on a lot of people's radars out there. So just put it in perspective. It's trying to recover too. Fubo starting to get going a little bit. SGN, I heard a short potential there. My man Shane getting after it. I can't blame him. I like that it went one run, 2 runs, 3 runs. Maybe you get a 4th attempt towards 678s, but as long as it holds below 7s, it looks pretty interesting now. All right, there's Fubo now starting to get the move there. Now we're looking a lot better here, guys. Up to the 416s, now starting to break out. Can we get there towards the 425s, 430s? I'll take the profits and run here, guys. Let's see what happens. At this point, won't lose on the position. Back to 410s, I'll get out. Let's go, guys. Taking the swing here. Let's see what happens. All right, if it gets to 439, I would win the account. So, hey, somewhere in there, I might take the cash right before it because I don't need to win the account on one trade. I just need to get closer and closer. You need to go at least 10 cents to make $100. At this point, the momentum's on my side. I'm in a position of strength and looking for the MACD to continue expanding away from the action. I'm going to put this really big so that we can keep following it here, guys. And don't forget the scanners down here to show you what's moving. Looking good here in Fubo now towards the 418. Can we break the 425? 424 has a little wall there, and so does the 422s. So I'm looking to see if we can break through this wall right here on the 426 and 424 spot. So you can see I'm not the only one looking at that high day break, and that there's traders trying to jump on that. All right, guys, look like we might pull back here, so just keep that in perspective. I'll cut out at 410 if it does pull back here and get me out. Like, I just need to make sure that I'm giving myself the shot, but also not risking when I don't need to. Just started the eval up 291. Let's go, Tory Williams. Let's go. All right, looking good here, guys. Just trying to continue grinding Fubo here. I did see some share size that went in there. Look at this 93,000 sell at 415. 93,000. Yes, that was right. This is important to catch, guys. There's not that many people that will catch and tell you this right here. 93,100 to sell. That puts me on concern because a big seller just came in. All right, guys, going right back there to the 411s, 410s here. So got to be really careful and ready to get out if needed here. If it reclaims 415, I'm looking good. If it comes to the 410s, I'll get out at the 409 on the bid. Looking to see what happens, right? Just setting myself up. You can only set yourself up for success. You can't make it happen. All right, pulling back here, not being able to hold on, and neither is the Qs and the SPY, so just watch out with that. There's a nice little push right back towards the 414s now. So it has the momentum if it wants to take the 415s and just keep going now. I'm looking to see if we can get back above the 415s. That's a major spot right now. That's where the sell happened, and that's why it's such an important spot to get back above. Here's 414, 413s. So just looking to see that it can get back above that 415 here. And it doesn't. It fails that 415. SQQQ starting to jump there, guys. So we could see downside action come right back in here. Yeah, I've seen the downside leak here, guys. I'm going to go ahead and get out here, break even. I'll put it 1 penny in the red there, but other than that, I already set the stop there, 409, guys. It just doesn't make sense for me to stay in this right now. I was looking for it, looking for the breakout. It can still give me it. I still will give it 1 penny below the low right here, the 409. But other than that, it could wash out there. And the next thing you know, we're getting hit on the Qs here right now. Look at that Qs move down. SQQQ right back up there. GOLD holding on to the 606. Looks interesting for me. We'll see what happens here. The SPY also went down fast, so this is more protection for myself. IonQ coming down also. We'll keep this one on the radar just to see if it starts to break 39. And if it breaks 39, I wouldn't mind being short on this one. There's Fubo right back towards 415. I'm actually taking my stop off here just to make sure I don't show my hand on where I want out, but I'll still do it if I see the down action come back in and it doesn't recover 415. It's not being able to do the recovery of 415 right now. That's what I'm watching for. Recovery of that 415. All right, got to stay sharp here. Got to stay sharp, guys. We're getting towards 10:15 almost now. So stay sharp, guys. Q's kind of in the middle right now. They're trying to determine the trend. Nice little attempt here to recover. You see how it's 414 by 415, like close to it, like just right there. It could take it if it wants to. If it goes back into a red candle, I need to get out. As simple as that. Sometimes it's keep it simple. At this point, green, I stay in. Red, I get out. Gold sticking around, guys. That's looking pretty decent there. All right, guys, 10:15 here, guys, and not much happening on this Fubo trade. I'm setting the stop break even 410 right now. Reason why, it's not moving through that 415. If it was at 415 or 416, I wouldn't even have my stop out there. So I just put it out there at the 410s, break even, just to see if it goes to 415. If it hits 415, I can cancel it. Setting up here to see what happens, right? And I'm also watching the SQQQ to see if maybe that starts to get a spike again. I'd actually like to see it pull back to the 29, get some bulls back into this market before the bears can take control again. Here comes the 410 to get me out on Fubo. Out on Fubo. I could still get back in this, guys, but the big thing for me is just trying to stay within reach, stay within reach. If I do that, I'll be able to find that trade that makes sense. SLKN getting above the $2, and that one just starting to break. This one has a lot of eyes on it, so I'm going to go looking at this one to see if it can get going. Fubo would have me in the red now, so hey, good luck there. Ion Q's another one to kind of start looking at. That's starting to break down here. As the Q's start to break down, I'm just keeping an eye on this to see if it starts to really fade off. QUBT also still kind of rejecting that 10. At some point, it could really fade off of that 10 and take out the low of yesterday, 926. Staying within right now, guys, looking around. Fubo trying to make a little bit of a recovery. Still hasn't been able to. All right, what are you guys looking at out there, guys? Hello from the Milky Way? What's going on out there, guys? Mueller in the chat. All right, guys, let's see what else we can come up with. Where's the cash moving right now? Let's go to the sectors and industries, start to see what change. And I like to look at this. So in the last 15 minutes, what is up, right? Like forget what's up in the last, like, you know, the whole day, but I'm going to look at what's up right now. All right, defensive stocks starting to take lead. And I've talked about Procter & Gamble. I talked about Coke, those types of names. Coke looks interesting for me right now off of this pattern recovery on the VWAP. That's the 72s. It's about 30 cents to the upside. So it's not too bad of a move on the 30 cents breakout there. We'll see what happens. Not looking too bad. The Qs are starting to let go. A lot of things starting to let go. So let's see if we really start to flush there and we start to see Coke and different names like that start to make an up move. XLP is another way to play this, the consumer staples, but I'd keep an eye out on those names because there's some strength there for sure. Walgreens Boots Alliance, ADM, Kroger's. So a lot of these kind of value names. I also talked about a short on ARKK today available to me, and I'm looking at that right now off the 62. There could be a nice little short here. So maybe give it one more chance to come up here, and then it starts to fail. I'll be looking at that for a short on ARKK. So this is against the growth trade. Fubo now just lifted, guys. So it looks like it shook me out there on the bid there. Now starting to come back towards the 414. So it doesn't look bad. Doesn't look like a bad chart on the 15-minute. I will say that, guys. This is still holding really well here. So I might just jump in it with a little bit of a bigger size and look for the nice quick scalp. We'll see what happens, though. The big thing for me is that the market hasn't come back. If the market was up towards the top, I would take this a little bit more. Qs are still kind of really weak here. Ion Q trying to break out above the 40s here. You could see a little bit of a push here on SOX. Fubo now going for the breakout, so might have just gotten caught on that pullback and not being able to get back in. I wasn't really watching it when it recovered to 410, so we'll see if it pulls back to that level. It's just chomping right now. SLKN just hanging out on the 214s. We'll look to see if it gets back above the 225s and actually makes a spike. Sky Biosciences, I'm looking around at the different names out there. SGN still doing pretty well. This is kind of holding in on the 6th here. Could make another run here towards the 7. I don't know. It's kind of looking like a fade, but still holding on. SPY just choppy right here, guys. I'm trying to wait till it actually distinguishes where it wants to go. SQQQ still hasn't come back to the 29, guys, so it's been kind of just hanging on there. QUBT with a big spike there. We'll see if those can actually start to make a breakout. RCAT also holding well. There's IonQ going for the breakout there. Fubo could go for it. I mean, market's there. The only thing is that the Qs and the SPY are still really weak here. NVIDIA still weak. Yeah, NVIDIA still weak. AMD not looking too bad. I'm looking around out there, guys. What are you guys seeing? When is the 260 limited will be available? I'll ask. I don't know right now, but I'll definitely will look into it future. I hear it, future. I'll let them know. All right, guys, smash the like. It's good to see you out there. Passion, what's up? How we doing, traders? All right, guys, let's take a really quick assessment here. And I'm thinking that we're still seeing the leak, but we could see a really quick comeback here in the market. So just keep your eyes open for that. Let's see if some real buying starts to come in here. Fubo had the volume, then really just died off. We'll look to see if it gains the volume there. And I'm looking at some of the smaller names to see what's moving. Vink moving back up. Lunar moving up into the green. So getting that space stocks to start to come back here. We'll see what happens on PL and Black Sky. Those were getting hit hard there. RKLB was still hanging on a little bit. So that's actually doing really well. Just recovered 30 there. RDW is another one that was doing decent. Just recovered the 2250 spot. Could make a run to 23 today. Not a bad looking chart there as it recovers the 15 minutes, and it's been holding the $22 like crazy, guys. Here come the Qs right back here, guys. So now we're starting to see that come right back. It doesn't mean that it's going to hold on, but I'm definitely starting to see the strength there. Gold coming back for that 16 undercut. We'll see if we can get it in the main account. I don't mind getting gold underneath 16 and looking to see if we get right back into the downside action. All right, looking around out there, T-Mobile was one that definitely had a decent earnings report today. Just reclaimed the VWAP and now holding on the 240s. We'll look to see if it can keep moving. All right, catching up out there, guys. I see close to 200 of you guys out there. Smash the like, guys. We got a lot of you guys tuning in. If you're in on X, if you click the stream, you can actually drop a comment like I did right here. All right, just saw Ion Q turn right back down here. Rigetti just been slowly stair stepping. That just frustrates me because yesterday I was playing it through the 13. It's almost at the 14 today. SPY coming back up here, guys. So we could start seeing some upside action. Cat is having a nice little breakout. We talk about how stocks before earnings are very important to look at. Cat is now making a nice little breakout move before its earnings tomorrow. Not a bad looking action move there. Deer and Pakar is another name I'd keep watch if Cat can stay strong. Fubo now breaking out to 420s here, guys. So yeah, I messed this one up, guys. I probably cut out break even there. It probably felt the pressure a little bit too much, but hey, it's in and out. Sometimes I gave myself the opportunity. It was close to this level here. I never got to the 420 when I was in it before. It got only to the 418, so I couldn't take the cash at 420. Still looks pretty decent here, but starting to pull back. Not going to just jump in here for no reason. We'll see what happens there on Fubo. OKYO now pulling back there, so that's not looking good there. BNZI trying to make the lift and just failing. RNAS now starting to fail a little bit there. We'll look to see if it can catch up a little bit, or will it just fade off this VWAP? SQQQ is now starting to get a little bit of a lift there. Gold right on the 1604s here. Could go right back to the high 1615s. Doesn't look too bad there. I'm seeing the Qs overall starting to come back down here. Stock's ass starting to lift off here. So, hey, we could start seeing some more downside action come in. Nova getting a run there. Running. So Solar Names getting a nice little push today. Downside action right back into QUBT. I'm looking at this as a potential short here. Liking QUBT for a short here, guys. It can bounce to 16, so I'm going to go half size here. All right, guys, just saw it drop a little bit too fast there. I went short there off the $10 spot there, guys. So I'm short 500 shares. I'm looking for a bounce. I don't mind adding here. We'll look to see what happens there. Short on QUBT. Looking to see if the Qs can break the low and we start to let go. Ion Q broke 39. That's one that I don't mind taking a short on the main account. I'm going to go try to open that up. Ion Q here. 200 at the 39 is where I want it. Let's put 39.05 just to see if I get a bounce, but I'm not getting much bounce in this. Quick downside action coming in. All right, there we go, guys. Up about 30 bucks there on the smaller account there as I short QUBT. It spiked and then came down, so I'm looking for it to really start nailing down here. There we go. Now we're starting to get that flush down. Now towards the 989s. Let's see if we can take this down and really go further. Next stop will be 960s there. Q's broke there, so we did get that attempted breakdown. Little bounce back here, trying to come back towards 10. It just rejected that 10 look and went right back towards that 993. So let's see if we can flush the 989s and start to cut down. All right, trying to nail this QUBT short, guys. Look how the momentum went from up, like a breakout look, to a really quick cross. Gold back at 16. That looks good there for me. Trying to stay focused on this QUBT. I like gold here, but just trying to stay focused, guys. Trying to stay focused, trying to stay nimble and focused here. A lot going on out there, guys. How we doing out there, traders? I'm looking at the Sound Hound. I shorted Sound earlier this week. I'll look to see if it starts coming back. The Qs and the SPY bouncing a little bit there, guys. We got to be careful for fake outs. Qs bouncing a little bit, but it went straight down fast towards the support. So looking to see it hold that 9 EMA and reject that. So here's that look, guys. All right, this is a tough one here, guys. We'll see what happens. Walgreens Boots Alliance getting a little bit of a jump there. The XLP starting to pull back a little bit there. I was looking at potentially shorting ARKK. That's bouncing a little bit there. Be careful out there, guys. A lot of stocks moving all around. Tempest is trying to recover a big, long pullback. So if we're going to go back to green, guys, this is one stock I would definitely watch. This is a really nice pattern, guys. Really nice looking pattern. If you guys haven't seen this pattern before, well, you guys need to look into the flag patterns. This is a nice clean flagging action here. Nice two trend lines going down. Now trying to break the upside there. So I always like to give two sides of the trade. I know I'm short, but Tempest AI is setting up here for a long setup. We'll see what happens, right? I always like to give you guys two sides of the coin, not just one. There goes at least the wash on QUBT. Let's see if it really washes out now, guys. This is my attempt to win the account today. Let's see. Let's see it. There you go. A little attempt there towards the 990s. I saw it hit for a second there. Now let's see if it goes and washes it. We also got QUBT coming down, the SPY coming down. That's what I'm really keeping an eye on also here, the SPY. Watch how the SPY is going to determine a lot of this, right? If we can get that breakdown to go further than the support right now, then yeah, we're looking pretty decent. But if it doesn't go through that support, we could easily start to drive right back up. So we've got to keep that in mind here. Let's see what happens with the SPY if we're able to break through this low. There we go on QUBT, now up $65 here, guys. So in a second, I could take some profits. What I'm looking to do is get this up at least $100 and then start making secured profits. So right now, I'm right there on the spot where we could really get that momentum move down, where it could start to let go yesterday's action and then start to come back here towards the 66. And yesterday it went down to the 930s. So we'll take some profits into the first action move here. That's what I think makes sense. So trying to take maybe half off once I'm up 100 makes complete sense to me. All right, here comes into the 80s now. 88 showing up there, 90 on the bid here, 87 on the bid here. Now let's see if they go for a little bit of a takedown here. And the market's bouncing back. So with that being said, I'm ready to put protection on. I just got to be smart here. Look for the takedown. But if it does come back, get out, be willing to get back in is the most important thing for me today. That's what I've been doing all day. All right, getting a little bit of a pullback market starting to come back on me. So I'm keeping that in mind, guys. It could be choppy here. We're starting to pull back here. I'm giving myself the opportunity here, but also not trying to show my hand too much and being protective if it comes back against me. If all I do is just lose $20 today and I gave myself setups to win the account, I am more than happy, guys. So just trying to keep it going and keep getting after it. How long can NVIDIA drop today, right? Yeah, that's for sure. SPY and Qs starting to play a little bit of some balancing act here. So I'll show you guys the Qs and the SPY. So you see how the SPY is starting to come back here. I'm watching it on the VWAP because it could be a quick recovery of VWAP here. Let's see if I got hit on the other trade on the IonQ. Ooh, I did get hit on the IonQ trade, guys. So I'm short on the IonQ. I'm going to risk on that one about 60 bucks. Let's move back over here. All right, guys, it's still in this QUBT, but I'm seeing a bounce here coming in, and the market's trying to bounce. So just got to be very careful with the market bouncing. Has the ability to go for the wash, but I definitely don't want to get hit here on a quick spike back, right? So there it goes back to the 991s here, 95s, and they're spreading it out right there, trying to grab some of the shorts, that are spreading out there. So I'm just keeping an eye on the SPY because it could come back here. There comes the 93s to get hit a little bit there. Looking for the Qs and the QUBT to really start to getting hit. Rigetti would be another one to see get hit there. Let's see if Rigetti takes the hit off the VWAP there. If not, these could be plays on the opposite side, right? All right, guys, seeing a lot of you guys tuning in on the Everything app on X. So do us a favor, guys. If you're not following us, definitely follow and hit the like. QUBT starting to come back there, but the SQQQ still battling out there, guys. Now GLD starting to set up a little bit better. I kind of like GLD here, but I'm just staying with this QUBT right now. I'll show you the GLD setup there. Nice little pullback towards the 16. If you look at it on the 15-minute chart, look how it's pulling back right to this trend line. I really like that trend line approach here. I'd like to see it dip the slightest bit towards, like, let's say 1598, 1595s, and then right back above 16. Looking to see IonQ get hit here. That's going to be a good sign for me on QUBT. Let's see if it does take the hit. There it goes right back to the low here. So it has the opportunity to go for the washout. Now I'm going to set the stop break even just to give myself the shot here to make the cash. Starting to bounce a little bit there. It gave the 990 opportunity and it's bouncing there a little bit, guys. So it's like I could take the 990s, take the $50, or just kind of hang in, break even. I think hanging in, break even is what makes the most sense right now. And just being careful that the SPY and the Qs can come back on me. Big Fed day today, of course, going to be coming in at 2 p.m. You'll get the press release, and at 2:30, you'll get the fireworks. Where can you guys keep up with this? On our Discord, of course. Shout out to my man Tim, like always in the chat, helping us out. Go check out him at 2:30 and check out others as they check out what's going on after the FOMC. Where can you do this? Only on our Discord, of course. Check out the description below to check it out. We got watch lists in there. We got traders talking every day. There's a book club. There's so much to learn out there, guys. Be that learner and go check out our Discord. All right, there's a nice little wash there starting on QUBT, now down to the 985s here, guys. So I'm going to let go and just watch. letting go there and just watching, guys. I'm actually canceling the stop loss. There's no point in showing my hand here. Let's see if it really gets the wash. Ion Q is starting to wash. QUBT, can it get the wash here, guys? Up 72 now, guys. Let's see what happens here. We really start to get a nice little wash. I'm looking for that quick action to the bottom end of the Bollinger Band, 970. There we go. Nice first wash here towards the 980s here. 980s, I don't mind taking half off there. So I'm going to look to take half off at the 980s there. 980s showing up on the offer there, on the bid. I'm putting it out there right underneath it. I got 980s to take half off. Ooh, just pulls back off of that, guys. So I'm pulling it down below that towards 75 now. Canceling down right now, guys. I wanted to kind of break the 980s first here. Qs went right back to the lows. So we got that opportunity to get that cash right there. Look at that. Now we're getting that break there. Boom. Ooh, and it spreads out on me there. I tried to get the 980s. You guys saw me. There it goes. Got half of it out there, guys. Paid myself there $51 into the green, $31 on the day. Now set the stop loss break even and let her ride. Let her ride, man. Hey, Mike, how you doing out there, my friend? I know you're battling probably with me, man. It's not easy. It's not easy in this game. Mike, hey, it's good to see you out there, Mike. I know that you've been struggling with me, man. We're taking the shot here, guys. We're taking the shot. I'll show you it right on the platform here, guys, so you guys can see it right there. So 15. You guys see the amount there now starting to get back closer into the account. Got to get to the 1350, right? And let's see if we're able to make it happen now. Now that I took some cash on that first action, there's a reason why, because we could get the bounce back immediately. And I don't mind just letting it go now. Look at that. Nice action on the first action there. Let's go to the main account here and go take some money, right? Let's go take some money on the other account. There we go. Looking good here, guys. Now we're starting to make the move, and Ion Q isn't going as fast, right? Isn't happening as fast as, let's say, QUBT is doing. I'm going to cancel this out right now because I'm essentially in the red. Canceling out so it doesn't just come hunt me. And looking for this to really wash down. This is going to be a good sign if we can get the washout. It's starting to balance out. It could come and get me, guys. So I'm going to give it a little bit of room here, but just know where I'm risking. 56 bucks, and I'll look for the real takedown back towards like 37. This could be a nice bigger win, like a 300 win. All right, guys, going back over here, and you guys can see the accounts there. I keep it simple for you guys, right? All right, let's see what I can do here, guys. I'm going to switch this over here and pull this over. Going back to the other account here. QUBT in the green there, guys. Now down towards the 81s. It did kind of spike down there towards lower 70s. Can it just keep rejecting the 9 now? The 9 is 987. I just want to see it below the prior support that it was fighting, which is this line right here. So the 988 line. So not closing above the 988 is very vital right now. Just canceled my stop. If it gets above that 98 or that 88, I can go ahead and just get out of the position. Gold looking interesting for me, but I'm going to leave that alone right now because I'm just focused in on this trade. All right, what's up out there, Mike? How we doing? 1194. Keep working hard, my friend. Keep working at it. Catch you tomorrow, Shane. How was it today, my friend? Out on SGN at break even. Nothing else I like. Hey, love to hear it, Shane. So that means SGN looking like it's coming back a little bit there. I'll take a quick little peek there. And now it looks like it's starting to fade. So Shane, we'll see what happens. That was a nice looking trade there you had, my friend. I don't mind even this trade on the short side of things. I'm going to actually set a stop. I'm going to go to my other account, man. I know that you got out on this one, but I'll nail it down for you, my friend. I don't mind taking a trade on it. Ion Q just went in the green there for me on this one, so I'll go for a takedown trade on this one. Let's see what I can do here. I'm going to do nothing crazy. Let's do 300 shares here. I'd like to get it on the 80s. There's the nice 80s there on the bid. All right, there you go. Able to short SGN there on the 80s. I'll hold above the 620s. Risk like about $100 here. We'll see what happens if it does get the cut down back through the 560s. Set it and forget it style trade, guys, where it's already set there, and we'll see if we make the cash, right? So I set it, now looking to forget it. Going back to the QUBT. We did make some downside, didn't break the downside there. Now it's trying to recover that 88 that I talked about. So this is vital here, guys. I'm going to actually cancel down for just a slight second here. Just look to see what happens here and getting ready to get out. There's 990 trying to recover. Can't really let it actually recover that 990s. Wix is fine, but it shouldn't really get back to break even here. Rejecting that 990s is a really good look here, so I'm just waiting. Gold is trying to recover. That still looks good also. Wish you the best of luck, Shane. Don't worry. You don't got to get it all in one day, my friend. Sometimes it's best to call it quits. If you don't see it, you go home, you get out of the market, and you reassess tomorrow. Never think that one day needs to be that day where you're making money. If you're not seeing it, you're not feeling it, that's a good sign that you're not in the zone and it's time to see your way out, right? One thing I feel like I've been doing today well is staying in the zone, right? And I need to do like a segment right now. We're going to go into a segment and stuff like that. But it's so important, guys. When you're doing your trades, stay as focused as you can be and be really objective in what you're trying to achieve that day. All right, let's see if we get another hit on QUBT down here. I'm looking for the wash towards the 970s, the 968s. Would be the next move. We got a low right now of 973. So if it could take out that 73, I think we could get towards the 68s. At this point, I can hold off the 90s. It just tapped towards the 83s. I don't want it to get back above the 90s. I'll take the cash if it starts to get above the 90. 990s. Don't want 990s to recover here. All right, SQQQ, man, now 2950s, guys. What a good move, man. What a good move. All right, Q's and SPY coming down here. Let's see what happens. Q and SPY pretty weak. That's why I'm holding on here, guys. Putting my break even out there, guys. So I give it the ability, if they want to bring it back to 10 and cut me out, let them come try to cut me out here. But it sets me up for the trade, right? And now I'm looking to see if the SPY is going to come back here, or is it going to wash out and continue, right? It came to a washout level and stopped at the 602. It needs to wash through that level and start heading back to 600 if we're really going to get that nice takedown look right now. And of course, this isn't before the FOMC today, and that could easily be that we already got the big action today. We're seeing GSAT down a little bit today. That's one that's definitely taking a hit. Bouncing back. SLKN did make the move above the $2, finally did make the break there. So that was one that I was watching on that $2 pullback. It did break out there towards the 280s, now on to 250s. One that's being watched by a lot of these penny stock traders. RNAS also another one trying to recover 10 and holding pretty decent there. QUBT trying to come back and get me out here. It might get me, guys. It might get me back on the break even. We'll see what happens. I'm just hanging on. Ion Q did go back towards the resistance there. I don't think it got me out just yet, but it's very close to getting me out. Let's see it here, guys. All right, so SGN now up about $100 on that. Ion Q not cashing in on that one. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just get out on that one right now. Looks like it's going to cut me out anyways here. Let's see if it does cut me out. But SGN looking really well on that one, guys. Nice little cut down through the 580s. Now to cut the 560 support. Next support right here, trying to recover, but can't do it just yet. Canceling down the target profit because that's just going to put some more pressure here. So I wanted to keep coming down here. And if anything, I'll move the stop loss. Ion Q coming back tells me be careful out there, guys. Now I'm up closer towards 166 on this. If this really flushes here, I'm looking really good in SGN here. All right, just got stopped out there in the QUBT, the rest of it right there. I'm going to go take a quick peek there to show you guys that as SGN's heading towards the lows, so don't feel too bad about that. QUBT just got me right back out, guys. Right back out on the break even, at least back into the green today. And now we'll look for setups. I need to wait now. Take a little bit of a second here because if I rush to the trades, that's easily how I'm going to get rushed out. And just like yesterday, I rushed back in and then all of a sudden started to fight. So there's the pop towards 10.05. I still like gold on this 16 pullback. It's just hanging out there and could make a nice little move on the hourly where it holds the 16, then takes back to the 16.15. All right, going back to the main account. Let's go make some cash today, guys. Going to keep getting after it and try to keep making that cash. All right, there's a move in GLD to the 1598s. That makes me feel not too bad about it. The Qs are starting to bounce back, and so is the SPY, but it's not a big bounce. SGN doing really well for me here, guys. There we go. Nice little cut down there in SGN. Now down towards the 516s. Looking good, guys. Looking good here. Now up $200, guys. Trying to bounce back from yesterday's disaster day. All right, looking for the cut down through the 5 here. Can we get the cut down through the 5, going back into the 460s, and then we're really cashing. There we go. 510 starting to show available here. All right, almost $200 here, guys. I'm about to just make sure that I at least cash some in this. It could keep going down, but I just want to make sure that I at least take some money and run. Just bounced a little bit there, so I'm going to probably pay myself here a little bit. Let's look at the trade a little bit here. So that's SGN, guys. I'm looking at it right now. I'm short from the 580s here, looking for this to kind of keep coming down here. It's down to the 534s, but it's hitting the lower Bollinger Band, and I'm looking to see if it could break the 5. That's really the important spot for me. If not, VWAP could easily come back, and I'm in on the VWAP. Let's maybe take this money and run here. 300 shares here. Looking for that rejection here, the 540s. There you go. Nice rejection there, guys. Now I'll look for the takedown through the 5. All right, QUBT coming right back into it here, guys. It's starting to break down again. Watching Ion Q because that's another important one. It needs to break down. That's the leader. Leaders must go a lot of the times before the move, right? So QUBT's right there, right? So it could still recover. I'm looking at Ion Q. That one stopped me out, but it could still cut the 39. It's a big daily level to look at. So I like to look to see that the leaders lead and the laggards lag right behind the leaders. So watching for that action there. Okay, hello. Back at VWAP, guys. So if you like the nuclear play, you have some nuclear plays setting up. And what was the other one? Tempest AI on the bullish setup. That failed that setup. Now starting to come back there. All right, guys, I'm going to go ahead and start wrapping it up here just a little bit early today. I got a lot to do, guys, and I actually will be out tomorrow. So we'll let you guys know. I have some busy time tomorrow, guys. I'll be with the twins. You guys know how that life is. But going to keep battling, guys, and I hope that you guys keep battling also. This is my mini limited account. The battle's been on, guys. Of course, I actually started this one on the 21st, guys. It's only been 8 days. Not looking too bad here, guys. And you guys can see it. Minimum trades, 47% success rate, 1 to 4.2. Best stock was that's EVAX. We'll see what happens out there, guys. The battle's still on out there. I'm still seeing Rigetti start to let go a little bit there. And I think this is just a battle now that the SPY and the Qs are just stuck. I need to see what happens there with the SPYs and the Qs and what happens on that action. All right, guys, I'm going to keep getting after it today. You guys saw it, a little bit of a balancing act, right? And a little bit of a bounce. You guys can see the down action come in there, right? Rigetti, other names there, but continuing the fight, right? Continuing the fight, guys. We'll see what else is out there. And this was my 52 bounce back yesterday on a PayPal. So well, just gotta stay within reach, guys. Stay within the reach. That's what I'm trying to do. We'll see if we're able to go ahead and nail it. All right, that's going to do it for me, guys. Like always, guys, smash the like. I hope you guys enjoyed it. And don't miss my man Tim tomorrow live. My man Tim will be doing it. And, of course, like always, we have a group trading on TTP Discord for the FOMC conference today. So don't miss that. Like I've mentioned multiple times today, get to that Discord and don't miss out on those opportunities. At the end of the day, it was a great day for me. I'm going to go ahead and said it's a money day kind of day. Let's make it rain and end the show with a little bit of some raining action. We'll see you guys back like always tomorrow, and I will be back on Monday, hopefully funded. Let's find out. What do you guys have to say on that? Definitely smash the like. We'll see you guys back right here on TTP Live.